Go.
You do it, Kaya.
Yo,
no,
what's up?
No, shut up. Kaya hasn't done it in weeks. It's Kaya's turn.
We can just start talking. Just start talking,
Okay,
Kaya.
all right.
It's really easy.
All right, just go.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed messages. Do I do an intro or not? What's happening?
Do
Nah, we
half
don't need-
an
we-
intro.
like, we don't
Say
need to
do
do an
half an
intro.
intro. Say hello and then just start talking.
Hello, Jackson. What news do we have today from the gaming world?
In the gaming world, I don't know about the gaming world. What's happening in the gaming
Speedrunning,
world?
gaming. The
Who?
fuck you mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's more like just general drama shit. Does it really have anything to do with gaming at this point? We're talking about the
Tangentially,
Billy
yeah.
Mitchell
Everything
shit.
has to do with gaming. Life is about gaming. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So Billy Mitchell, you know this guy, the guy who faked all these high scores in Donkey Kong or whatever. He was getting
Allegedly.
sued, or he was suing. Yeah, well, okay. Now we're gonna get sued. He sued a YouTuber named Karl Jobst
Allegedly.
for defamation.
Allegedly.
You know, that was he did sue him. That's
I'm
proven.
playing it very safe. All of this is allegedly. Everything
Yeah,
about
everything
anything.
is alleged.
Have you heard about this, Andrew?
Yeah, we had Karl Jobst on the podcast.
I googled a story or two. That's as far as I've gotten. So I don't know much details. I kind of just know the gist of what happened. If you guys want to go over it.
Mm-hmm. Jackson.
Yeah, so we had Karl Jobst on the podcast a while ago. Pretty much at the start of this whole defamation suit, because Karl basically made a set of YouTube videos alleging certain things about Billy Mitchell
Allegedly.
and his alleged allegations and all those kinds of things. And then Billy Mitchell didn't like that, so he throws out some lawsuits, as he is wont to do, as is like what he has done in the past. Karl Jobst basically took this and made a lot of videos about it, drummed up support for himself. And this lawsuit basically went on for a long time, probably like 2 years, I think. And today or yesterday, the verdict has come out from the court system over here in Australia that Karl Jobst has been found guilty of defamation. So Billy Mitchell has won the lawsuit against Karl Jobst and basically vindicated himself. Which I don't think no one saw this coming, right? Anyone who's been following this, no one saw this coming.
No,
Now-
also we should mention Karl Jobst is in Australia. That's why this took place in Australia. So
Yeah.
Billy Mitchell is an American who sued an Australian court for defamation. And
Which is pretty
Until
Chad when
now-
you think about it, going to another person's country to sue them directly in their country. Like, you can say whatever you want about Billy Mitchell and how he's allegedly a loser, but like that's pretty baller, going to their country to sue them.
it also should be like, that's ridiculous. Like, why is my country punishing me for talking shit about some foreigner? Right? Why is your court even enforcing that? Who gives a fuck? Like, I would get it if they were defending the honor of another Australian, but why is the Australian court system like, we're going to punish our own citizens for talking shit about Americans?
Well,
But
we've always
anyway.
been subservient to Americans.
Well,
unfortunately,
did you
so that doesn't
say?
surprise me.
Did you say the details of what he was suing for defamation for? Because
Yeah,
that's a
so let's get to it.
misconception. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's the drama.
The drama is allegedly that Billy Mitchell cheated on his King Kong high score or some shit, which a lot of speedrunners called out, Jacob being one of them. And then
Yeah, and
gets
that
sued and
that
says-
element of it is like allegedly 100% true, confirmed by Jackson myself.
allegedly
Yeah,
confirmed.
Jackson, the current world record holder of Donkey Kong, you really were upset when you heard Billy Mitchell was taking your record, and you couldn't let it stand. Could you,
No,
Jackson?
of course not.
So you plotted
No.
to kill him. Is that right?
Well, allegedly. yeah.
Allegedly plotted to kill him. Allegedly, right?
I'm gonna sue you for defamation, Andrew.
No, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. Also, I said Jacob. It's not Jacob. It's Jobst. Anyway, he gets sued, and he doesn't really let on what he gets sued for, but, it's just a lot of hints.
I disagree with
Billy
that.
Mitchell
I
is a
disagree with that.
bitch.
He did frame a picture. He did frame a picture in most of his videos that this was a lawsuit that stemmed from Billy Mitchell taking, umbrage against him being called a cheater.
From what I have Googled a wee bit in these twilight hours of me getting out of bed and checking my phone, the big issue that people have with this whole thing is Jobs the whole time told the audience, oh, I'm suing him because he's lying and he cheated. But now the defamation suit is revealed, no, it was over this whole other thing that's going on.
Yeah, essentially.
It was announced yesterday on April 1st, by the way, I think, or the day before, that Karl lost. And everybody was like, how did you lose? Like, does the Australian court system suck that hard? How could you have lost the slam dunk, the guy that cheat? So people got a hand of the transcript, and apparently it was live streamed too. And they found that in court, Bill Mitchell didn't even object to the claim that he cheated. The judge even says, yeah, I assume he did cheat. But turns out that the defamation case wasn't about the cheating King Kong stuff at all. It was about Karl alleging that Billy Mitchell basically caused a fight, which he then lost. And he lost to
which
the
was
tune
not something,
of,
which was not something that Karl basically, I don't think, ever brought up in any of his like all of the videos that he brought up about this case or made about this case. Like, I don't remember him ever bringing that up. I always was under the assumption that he was being sued for defamation because Billy, was suing him because Karl had called him a cheater. When in reality, as these court documents show, that, like you said, that was never really the main premise here. It was always to do with, Billy Mitchell.
yeah, people were like, what
suicide.
fucking suicide? What the fuck is this about? And turns out, I don't know if anybody remembers, but there was this YouTuber guy called Apollo Legend. I forget his real name. It's Benjamin something. Who killed himself after a video because he was suffering from like health issues and shit that he wrote about. And I guess he had like he just didn't like the backstabby attitude in the speedrunning community, something to that effect. Anyway, he took his own life. Shit story. He was like, I think, being litigated allegedly by Billy Mitchell. And Karl did like a whole lot of hint, the lawsuit, Billy Mitchell sued him into sort of, I guess, hinting that the judge in Australia considered, yeah, I mean, you did kind of say that he caused this, so fuck you. And he awarded Billy the victory to the tune of like 350,000 Australian dollars, which I don't know how much that is in USD. Plus,
that is US damages. I think it was 350,000 in US damages, which was about 550,000 Australian dollars. 50,000.
Are you sure? I read that was the Australia. In either way,
the current number I'm getting up, the current number I'm getting through Google is it translates to about 230,000 US dollars.
That's what I'm looking at too. But
yeah,
apparently that's only the damages for the defamation itself. He also has to pay Billy's court fees, which this has been going on for years and years. So people are estimating something north of $1 million, which is gonna sting, losing to Billy Mitchell.
I don't know what Karl was thinking. Like, I was on his side with the whole thing if it was based around like defending himself against the claim that Billy was cheating in video games, because like, yeah, that's fair enough. Like, there's enough proof out there to warrant that. But allegedly, but like to claim that to claim the suicide is on Billy Mitchell without any element of proof or anything like that is just like 100% defamatory. Like, and to do that in a country where our defamation laws are pretty easy to like work with, basically, like you like there's a lot of defamation cases over here. That absolutely was risky, and I feel like he should have made that abundantly clear that he was in some serious danger here. Like, I remember at the end of 2024 he was saying like this is going to be the easiest victory of all time. Like, he was very confident that he was going to win. And yeah, the judge has basically slapped him down. I remember that really as well. Hard.
Actually, I have a quick clip here to play. If everybody would like to tune into the screen share, I'll play this. Let me make sure it's recording. This is from one of Karl's videos from before the lawsuit settled or was decided.
There is a big difference between Billy's lawsuits in America and his lawsuit against me, which is in Australia. In America, even if you win as the defendant, there is no guarantee you'll get any of the court costs back. You might have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars defending yourself, and when you win, you get absolutely nothing. This is why in America, settling is a very tempting resolution, and this is why Twin Galaxies decided to settle. It was just a lot cheaper. In Australia, things are different. Here, almost always, the loser is ordered to pay the court costs of the winner. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to win. So from my perspective, it seems silly to settle because I believe I will be successful and I believe that Billy will be ordered to pay back most of my costs. It's not 100% of my costs, however.
Oh, Jackson, you're fucked. I'm going to sue you because you're not hot enough for me. And the court's going to find that true, and you're going to have to pay all my costs, Jackson. You better watch out.
That's fucked up.
You better watch out.
What you just did was defamatory, Andrew. I'm going to sue you now.
Shit, but I'm American, so I don't have to pay your costs. You'll have to pay my costs if I win. I don't have to pay your costs.
Fuck, you're right. If I wanted to sue you, I would need to come to America to sue you in an American court.
That's right. You fucking moron. Put that lipstick on, boy. It's coming.
Yeah, I'm fucked. People can just come here and sue me whenever they want, by the sounds of it.
That's how Australia works. It was a country founded on that, yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of hilarious that Karl, if you lose in Australia, you have to pay the American because the Australian court will make you. Whereas if an American lost a defamation suit in America against some foreigner, American would just be like, I don't give a fuck about your country. Why would I pay?
This is going to be the new American hustle. Americans are just going to come over here and start suing random Australians and stealing their money and leaving. We're fucked.
So that was the shot. Here's the chaser. A lot of confidence, as you heard there. I'm going to win. I'm very confident I'm going to win. Here's the tweet. I lost. The judge found Billy to be credible witness and believed his entire testimony. From that point on, unfortunately, there was really nothing that could have saved me. I will now obviously consider my options. And there was another sentence here, or like half a sentence saying including an appeal, but he removed that. He edited the tweet. I know many of you will be upset with this, and I'm sorry for that. Thank you again for all the support I have received, and I will endeavor to work as hard as I can to repay all that you are owed. And the replies are they're not happy. Like his own fans.
Yeah, I mean, he lied.
April Fools.
I mean, he didn't lie. Maybe not lie. Like, I don't know if I would go as far as lie, but he definitely wasn't transparent with the actual lawsuit itself. Like, he didn't offer up all the information that was relevant to people. And again, he was also accepting donations and stuff or whatever, like crowdfunding the lawsuit, basically, like the lawsuit defense. So a lot of people paid money to this, case to help him.
I got it right.
Under false pretenses. Basically.
I read a summary someplace. This could be wrong, but from what I understand, there was more than one lawsuit. Billy Mitchell sued him initially for the cheating allegation, to say that's defamation. Yeah. He started collecting donations for that lawsuit, but then Billy dropped that one and initiated a second lawsuit about this allegation that he caused a suicide. That one Billy went through with, but Karl never updated people by saying, hey, this is a whole new lawsuit. So people kept donating, thinking it's still the original, this is still about cheating, which is why now you have comments like this. I'm just now learning that the lawsuit was about Apollo. This is crazy. Maybe don't imply somebody caused somebody else to kill themselves. Seems like you've put yourself in this situation then. I legit thought this was an April Fool's joke. Ouch, community noted.
Yeah.
And people generally, it's like 90% I would say just people mad at him.
Yeah, it definitely was defamatory. Like, I don't think that I don't understand how he didn't see that as defamatory either, because there was very little evidence to support the idea. His entire defense, well, a lot of his defense seemed to stem from the fact, like, he was trying to paint Billy as a uncredible source of information, basically tear down Billy's entire defense. Incredible, not incredible. What's
it's incredible.
The opposite of
Ralph
credible?
Wiggum. It's okay.
It's the opposite of credible.
Incredible. It's okay.
No,
unreliable
that sounds positive.
Witness. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
unreliable. He was trying to paint him as unreliable. To basically tear down his entire attack that way by saying, this guy was a cheater in a video game, so you shouldn't take his word on anything for truth. So that's my defense. And I don't think that was a very good defense, clearly.
No, it didn't work at all. And the judge wasn't happy with him either. So this is from the court transcript, which I'll read a little. This is a little about Mr. Jobst. I have briefly described Mr. Jobst and his activities in the introduction. Mr. Jobst could not be described as a shrinking violet, nor as having any concept of tact or diplomacy. You always know it's a good start when the court is this fucking annoyed by you.
Just
right out of the
insulting
gate.
him. Was the fucking judge Billy Mitchell in like an old timey like court attire?
Maybe you switch the judge out for an emulator. Both in his YouTube videos that were played to the court and in giving his evidence, he was self-confident, forthright in expressing his views, and he struck me as very hard to dissuade from a view, whether an opinion or as to the existence of a fact once he had formed it. These character traits are clear in his videos on occasion when he has been interviewed by other online producers, in his demeanor and evidence in the witness. Mr. Jobst also has a self-aggrandizing and perhaps self-protective tendency not to admit error and not to back down once he has taken a stance. I mean,
Did the judge need to go this hard? Like, was that really necessary?
He just went off. But yeah, I mean,
also
the
don't
rest of
find it
is
physically
basically-
attractive.
Yeah, he's ugly. Ugly albino Australian. Get him out of my court. You lose. Anyway, Billy Mitchell is spiking the football. He's tweeting shit like, Billy Mitchell always has a plan. This was right after the victory announcement. Yeah, I gave it a like. I mean, you have to just... I'm sorry, but Jobst got Mitch slapped. Just can't have it.
Yeah,
And people are,
that's
of
the
course,
unfortunate
banging
aspect of this is that Billy Mitchell doesn't seem like a great dude. Never has. So why would you like set this up for him?
I don't know. It just made me laugh, though. I don't know why, also. I thought Billy Mitchell was a midget. Is it because of that movie Pac-Man or Pixels?
Yeah, I think it's probably
Like
from Pixels.
Yeah, it was just engraved in my head that he's super short, and I saw photos of him. He's like normal height, and I was like, wait, that's Billy Mitchell?
Oh man, so I'm on Billy's Twitter here, and he's very clearly trying to use this win to look cool again. He's got two of these tweets from when the verdict was announced. I'm going to read them back to back. Billy Mitchell always has a plan. Nothing like the smell of victory in the evening air. Oh my god, what a dork. What a fucking dork.
This is going to embolden him.
He's a
gonna
badass.
Sorry,
he's going to start suing more people
alleged
now.
badass.
He's absolutely going to start suing more people now. Now, this is like he's probably his main income source now. You have like hot sauce as well or something like that, but apart from that, it's going to be all through defamation suits.
I don't know. Very amusing, though. So to see Billy Mitchell, he's just one of those people that like just makes you think like, why would you hand him this W so hard? But I don't know. People did. And let's see, was there anything else? No, I mean, Jobst is very upset about this whole thing, naturally. He immediately, he uploaded a scheduled video about like a completely off-topic video on the same day that this was announced. And everybody was like, are you not going to address the elephant in the room? It was another video about like a generic company ripping people off, allegedly, or something of that tone. Anyway, he left a comment on his video saying... Today, the judge sided with Billy Mitchell and I lost my defamation lawsuit. I will explain what happened in a video shortly and explain everything. Hopefully this will not affect this channel. Play War Thunder now with my links and get a massive free bonus pack including vehicles, boosters, and more on PC and consoles. https://play-wt. You get the point. Like,
yeah, gotta pay for that lawsuit somehow, man.
Yeah, that's
he's gotta pay Billy.
Move.
Gotta pay Billy bills. And then, of course, everybody was like, you're shilling a fucking app right now? Like, are you not gonna address this fucking allegation? So he went on his Twitter and he said, okay, sorry, there was a sponsor obligation. I took the video down. That was dumb of me. My bad. And everybody's still angry at him. So that's the latest.
I'm going to give him some leeway here as a fellow Australian. Maybe we weren't following it. Maybe most people weren't following it as closely as possible. Maybe he did talk about it in other places. Like, I definitely only got all the information during the lawsuit from headlines of YouTube videos and things like that. I wasn't like an active follower. So I don't know how most people, what kind of knowledge most people would have had about the case. Maybe he did talk about it in passing and stuff. Maybe he wasn't super shady about it. So really, all he's guilty of at the end of the day, in my opinion, is losing a lawsuit against Billy Mitchell, which does suck. But I don't think it's he can't now make monetized videos or whatever.
Well, I mean, not only he'll have to make monetized videos. That money's got to be paid somehow.
He needs to. Yeah.
He's
Billy
gonna be
Mitchell wants him
Billy's,
to make those videos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the funny thing is, I also read that the judge was going to actually award even more damages, but Billy Mitchell just wanted 50,000.
Oh my god.
Billy the Merciful, the King of Kong, the Merciful.
He actually comes away from this looking like a better guy than he did coming into this. He's like, yes, I'll show you mercy.
Billy
Well, because
Mitchell
it turned
always
from-
has a plan.
He really does.
Well, because it
yeah.
turned from silly into like, okay, like you guys went too far. This was about a guy cheating about King Kong, which is like lame to make that your personality. Like I have a high score in some fucking video game, but then the fact that it turned out he cheated at it, allegedly, makes it funny. But then, you know, there's all of a sudden that's not funny. And then people are getting accused of causing this, which is even less funny. And yeah, I mean, when the shit goes
this
to
was
court, it's
this
not
was all
funny
a lot
anymore.
more simple and fun when it was all about just like high scores and Donkey Kong. If we could go back to that point, it's getting too complicated. I don't like where the storyline's going.
Yeah, no one wanted this
Need a
to end in a
reset.
death and like defamation. Just should have stuck to fucking making fun of him for sucking a Pac-Man or whatever it was. Anyway, that was the story. So Billy wins. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sorry, Andrew.
Huh.
Your hero,
Oh,
Billy Mitchell. Your hero.
yeah. No, I
It's-
love Billy. He comes over every Sunday for tea. I rub his back, and I say, "You're gonna get that high
Aw.
score, champ." And he starts for some reason he starts sweating a little bit, and he goes, "Right, the high score in Donkey Kong. I'll totally easy. I'll totally get another one." And I don't know why he does that, but every weekend we do that.
Are there any actual is there any Billy Mitchell like character in the gaming sphere that you actually respect, Andrew? Or are you just going to criticize them all? You're so good.
what do you mean Billy Mitchell like?
Or just anyone with like high scores and shit, you know, like sports
Like
people.
speedrunner?
By his laughing, I can see he doesn't respect any
That was a good one, Jackson.
of yours.
I don't know, like speedrunners and whatnot. I mean, there's some like speedrunners I watch every now and then, but no one I would say I like elevate above me or look up to. I just, they're just good at something.
Are there any pro athletes that you would say you look up to?
Michael Vick for his incredible dog handling skills.
What the fuck is that?
Has it been too long?
He's not gonna get that reference. Probably
Yeah,
not.
sorry, Jackson. Sorry.
No, what is this? What is
Some
this?
fan out there is laughing hysterically at that. There's like 2 people out there that found that a hoot and nanny and a half.
Kaya, you got it? You understood it?
Yeah, it's the football star who got caught dogfighting.
Mm-hmm.
And now no one really gives a shit anymore. So
No, but it
he
was
got away with it.
back in the day. Like this was like 10 years ago, longer than that. This was a long time ago.
Oh, I wasn't even born
It
yet.
was a huge scandal of him fighting dogs for money, and now no one gives a absolute fuck about it.
He was the one fighting them?
He was fighting dogs. Yeah,
No,
he
like-
put broken bottles in his hand and jumped into the ring with some pit bulls. Yeah.
I don't think that's a
All right.
survivable encounter. Yeah.
What do we have next, Jackson? I'll leave this next one to you. I know like nothing about this, but I'll
Yeah,
tag along
Jackson.
to read a couple of very cringe archives we have.
Well, real quick,
feel
before
like-
we move on, just a quick word from the sponsor of this episode.
This
Yay.
episode is brought to you by Billy Mitchell. He paid us to. He always wins.
Put a positive spin on it.
Yeah. Some of you out there are scared. I get it. It's a scary world out there. Now, not for me. I don't think I've felt fear since the year 1996. But you out there are probably afraid of something. And I think a lot of you out there, genuinely, are afraid of going to a gym because you don't know what you're doing. You're going to walk in, you're going to say, oh, I don't know which exercise to do. What do I do? I've seen these things in like movies and TV and Instagram and whatnot, but I don't know what I'm doing. Do I get a personal trainer? And my answer is no. You don't need that. You don't need any of that. You just need Fitbod. Fitbod is a fitness app that makes working out easy, simple, straightforward, and streamlined. All you got to do is plug in your goals and your information, and it will give you a workout fitness schedule customized to what you want to be doing and balanced to make sure that you're working out your entire body. My favorite thing about Fitbod, because I use it and I have used it for a long time, is that you can swap out particular exercises you don't feel like doing, or you're not into, or you don't really get a good result from, for other exercises that work the same or similar muscles. It's going to help you avoid super hard burnout so you can stay working all the time. It can introduce new exercises and techniques that you haven't seen. Comes with a whole host of videos as well to show you how to properly do all the exercises, and it will adapt to you and your growth, making themselves challenging enough to keep you progressing. Level up your workout. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/official. That's fitbod.me/official. 25% off your subscription or try the app for free for 7 days.
All right, the next one I have for you today is a little guy known as Grums. Have you heard of Grums online?
I've heard the name.
I have.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so his real name, Mark Kern. He goes by Grums online, but his real name is Mark Kern. He was a former game developer at Blizzard, and currently you'd probably know him from being kind of like a online grifter of you know the ones that constantly whine about video games and stuff online at the moment. We got some tweets here that kind of show it in detail, like this one here where he says, "The Sonic post is so many triggered. We're taking back gaming step by step. This year has been a banner year for pushing back against censorship, pushing back against DEI, and making games great again. We support developers in games that reject the woke virus and give gamers what they want." And then he's got another one here. He says, "Do not fuck with gamers. We're forged by endless boss battles against impossible odds. We do not give up. We do not stop. We are the Terminators of the culture wars." I just don't understand how anyone looks at these tweets and like signs up to following him, basically, like going, "Yeah, this guy's cool." Like I kind of at least get like the Andrew
These are
Tate
recent,
grift.
by the way. Like
Yeah, I get the Andrew Tate
VR
grift, people following that, because that's like such a, generic man is strong kind of mindset that appeals to like dumb guys. This one's just like fucking lame. Like
I
the
think
whole
that's
gamer
the
identity.
Blizzard entertainment mind. Like you said, he worked at Blizzard. I think that's just what it does to your brain when you play all these and make all these fucking quirky, haha, funny, silly Blizzard in depth. Like you start believing that shit. You start thinking, "Ooh, gamers really are cool," and not just being sold products.
Gamers are the opposite of like powerful. We've seen time and time again that they cannot stick by their like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 boycott, shit like that. Like they bend immediately. So whenever someone says "do not fuck with gamers," I always just immediately ignore it.
When they say that, I want to immediately fuck with gamers, you know?
He was part of the original team for World of Warcraft, by the way. That's why he's known from Blizzard. And then along the way, sometime,
former team lead of.
And then along the way, at some point, he left Blizzard, from what I understand, and he campaigned for Blizzard to bring back classic World of Warcraft. And people liked him then. That was like 8 years ago or something, though, like a while ago, where like. He did go through a phase where everybody liked him, He was like, "Yeah, this ex-Blizzard guy, he's on our side. He wants classic WoW." But then since then, he's like gone fully, I don't know, like the opposite of the retard woke coin, I guess, where all he fucking tweets about is the culture war brain slob. Anyway,
he's always tweeting about how they made characters ugly in video games now.
It's literally all he talks about. Like that tweet you read isn't ironic. It's not like supposed to be funny. No. We're gamers. Gamers rise up. We live in a society. It's like all he fucking tweets. And lately he's been talking about Ubisoft and whatever fucking Warhammer garbage. But for some reason he riles everyone up to the point that like huge accounts dunk on him for 500 million likes on Twitter. So he gets a lot of like circulation, a lot of engagement. I assume he gets paid for this shit, right? By X?
I don't know. Does X pay now? They started paying, but I think
I believe if you're verified, you can get paid.
Yeah,
if you
but
have a certain audience traffic. Yeah,
it can't pay that much. It can't.
I think it depends. I think if you're a really big account and constantly get huge engagement, you can get a decent amount of money. Nothing crazy, but
Yeah. No, you do get paid, but like they reduced it significantly. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they initially started this like X creator program or whatever it's called, people were getting like $10,000 for 2 tweets. It was insane. You had so many YouTubers tweeting it out like, dude, I made more money in a week on Twitter than I ever made on YouTube, but dude. And it was a lot of good marketing. And then I think since then they've slashed it by like 99%. So, Elon lured them with like a fucking fish hook and then cut off the fucking tap.
Well, he would have just paid them up front. Like
I don't know if it was before or after that slice, but if you wanted an idea of the very, very top end, Mr. Beast put a video out on Twitter and it made about $260,000. So
yeah, no way.
Well, that's I don't know. That's what he put out with his little stats poster.
Oh no! At the time, 100%. Yeah, he would have been probably paid that much. But again, it was like Elon kind of fixing that. Like it was probably Twitter probably lost a lot of money doing that kind of stuff, just to make it look
marketing.
like an attractive platform. Yeah,
exactly. And then since then they've slashed it down to whatever actually works. And he has subscriptions enabled and everything. So yeah, I assume he makes money on here. Anyway, point is everybody hates him. Even his own side isn't really like super duper lukewarm on him exactly.
Wait, can you go up to the top? Go up to the top of Grums's account. What's his one subscription to? Can we see that?
My OnlyFans, baby.
Data Republican small r. I'm just a tool builder. Elon Musk worth following.
What?
I don't know who the fuck this is.
The fuck is that?
I don't know. Just an.
I was sure it was gonna be Elon Musk. I'm surprised that it's not. Anyway,
I mean, it could be. Anyway, so a lot of people have an issue with him, have gripes, constantly retweet him and give him attention for some reason.
He's just cringe.
This week, this past week, people went through data breaches. So if you don't know, every website eventually gets hacked and all the data gets dumped onto the dark web where you can just either purchase it or just download it. So if you have like a Rotten Tomatoes account, your email address, your password, your date of birth, name, everything is just, eventually it's going to leak, right? Every website. So people went through some of those data breaches and found his name, Mark Kern, associated with companies that apparently ran certain websites. And I'm going to let Jackson handle the rest because this is where I tapped out.
Yeah, so a video came out kind of exposing Grums of essentially operating 3 to 4 or maybe potentially even more fetish porn websites where he was the webmaster.
Oh hell yeah.
Which, I mean it is on point considering he does spend all day whining about video game characters not being as sexy as they used to be or whatever. So it is on character. Yeah, so these websites, they're not like extreme in terms of like the fetish content. It's like pretty tame fetish. It's just like lesbians wrestling or something. Like what do they call it? Kitty fighting or something like that. Cat fights. Yeah.
Foxy
fighters. Yeah.
This man said kitty fighting in front of me. You want to take that back, you motherfucker?
Are you a fan of?
He also allegedly wrote fanfic about his ex-wife that he had divorced. I tried to find the actual link for this, so I'm going to read from an image, from a screen cap. I couldn't find the actual link to it, but it's still kind of funny, so I'm going to read it. This is allegedly, these are somebody else's words, excerpts from Cat's Bar, written by Mark Kern, which is his persona, in which his persona, Debbie Chan, which is the alternate name that he goes by, assaults and violates a character he named after his wife during a cat fight. I ran up and grabbed her legs, spreading them wide. Her firm calves bucked in my grasp as she struggled to avoid what was coming. No, she screamed, don't do it! But it was too late. I jumped up and kneed her in the crotch. Mimi's body convulsed as I hit pay dirt, and that just encouraged me to do it again and again. Mimi, are you guys hard yet?
Yeah.
I don't know why fan fiction writers like this don't get more interesting. Like, he should have been like, but it was too late. The ocean waves were parting, and I noticed the mighty roar of Godzilla piercing my ears. like, take it somewhere interesting. I turned to my ex and said, I have to go. My planet needs me. As the Megazord descended upon my house, like cool stuff, right? Cool stuff to jack off to, not just in the I had sex.
You're gonna come to Megazords?
Who wouldn't? Have you seen one? The fuck out of here with that.
Kaiju fight.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's hot.
Anyway, he starts pummeling her womanhood with his knees, and he says, "She tried to kick out as she writhed on the ground, but I had a firm grasp on her slender legs. I stuck the toe out of my boots down the zipper line of her shorts and tried to grind the metal teeth against her sensitive lips. It
What the
must have
fuck?
worked because Mimi's eyes were rolling back into her head, even as she cried, 'Submit, or I'll make sure you never fuck anyone again.'" That's how he sounds in his head.
That's
But
the
Mimi
Mortal
just clenched
Kombat
her
announcer.
teeth and moaned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dug in harder. Then I started stomping. With each stomp, I yelled, "Why won't you fucking give up?" With that last kick, Mimi let out an ear-piercing scream as her body went into convulsions. I let go and she started thrashing on the floor, holding her crotch and sobbing. I figured that had done it, and that I had taken all the fight out of her. I just got up and started to walk away. And I couldn't
Well,
find the rest of
wor-
it, which is a bummer.
He's working through some marital issues in that one, I think.
It's written by a well-adjusted man. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
when you have a nice hot woman, you think about fucking tie kicking her in the vagina. That's how that goes.
Making
You know,
her
that-
give up.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I didn't look any of them up. I should have, but this is not the first guy that I've seen write blog posts about his ex-wife, like fanfic, like hates
I'm
fuck
pretty sure
fanfic.
Boogie did as well.
Did it? Yeah. Well, Boogie made like a completely made up, like didn't even make up women. I'm talking specifically about like divorced men who made who like write rage fuck
Oh,
stories
yeah.
about their ex-wives using their real names and everything.
You see it a lot on Reddit and stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
angry people looking for an outlet.
Yeah. Anyway, so this specific one, I couldn't find an actual archive for, so take that with a grain of salt. This isn't an allegedly
Why?
one.
Wait, so wait. So he's role playing as a woman. His persona, Debbie Chan,
Oh,
who
is he?
then
Oh, yeah, I
assaults,
guess.
assaults and beats up
You
his
said that like the most 45-year-old dad in all of this. He's role playing as his persona, Debbie Chan. Okay. All right, son. Do you want to play sports or something? I'm just
what I
trying
don't
to
get
be in
is
your
he's like-
life.
nowadays he's like obviously on that anti like trans stuff as well, but he's also role playing as a woman back then.
Yeah, people
Yeah, this
pointed
is
that
some
out.
old
A little
anime stuff.
curious.
This looks really old.
It
Like
is very-
old
yeah, this
pervy
looks like a
man
very old
obsessed with
site.
lesbians. Anyway, yeah, this is one of the
Well,
websites
okay,
people
Now
Les-
let's not
lesbians.
hang on a minute.
Yeah,
Let's not
yeah,
throw
whoa,
shade
whoa,
where shade
lesbians
is
are
not
hot.
deserved. Lesbians are a great thing to obsess over. Like, have you seen
Yeah, what's-
lesbians? It's fucking amazing. They're one of the best things in life.
Yeah, but I don't imagine myself MMA fighting them. You know,
Now, you're obviously thinking small then. I think your imagination might be limited. I mean, come on.
Do you ever imagine
so-
yourself as one of the lesbians and then you're beating your ex-wife in
No,
the
you
You
pussy?
hyper-
hyper
just
combo
imagine
finisher
myself
like
as me.
Street Fighter. You charge up a Hadouken and fire it across the screen at her.
Yeah. And then the Megazord
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah, and
like
Godzilla and the
fucking Street
Megazord.
Fighter combos.
See, this is cool stuff. This is the stuff that people should be jacking off to. I need to be the CEO of porn and really take this stuff in a good direction. God damn it.
Yeah, you should be a jack-off referee.
Oh, jacoffery, if
Okay,
you will.
which one of you? Okay, one of you describe what we're looking at right now for audio.
All right, I'll
listeners.
take it as an ambassador of the old classic internet. So this is a website from an archive site, meaning that it's probably not even existent anymore, but very much made primitive web tools, old school HTML style layout, like nothing fancy, text and pictures on a
Vintage.
screen. You would see this everywhere in the early 2000s, maybe a basic bitch thing that you make.
2007. by the way,
2007. So definitely in that era. And what we have here are anime pictures of dominant wrestling style lesbians of the same era. So pretty
so hot.
amateurish art, not very well drawn or on model, kind of like
I think it's all right. It's pretty
it's okay, but it's definitely dated. It's definitely got that like 2000s kind of low quality to it. People know what I'm talking about aesthetically are going to immediately picture what I'm saying here. And
Yeah,
it
it's
is
kind of like old Newground stuff.
Old classic Newgrounds is a perfect way to describe it. Old classic, like back alley porn sites where you had to do some hard Googling to even find them kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it is a role play style anime girl's diary about, from what I can tell, her experiences having really big lesbian wrestling matches with other women. And from what I can tell by the pictures, losing every single one of them.
Oh, yeah. Did you read the title, by the way?
The title is Debbie Chan's Debbie's Diary, which is not grammatically correct, but okay.
And am I wrong, or is this the Disney font?
It is the
Kinda looks
Disney
like the
font.
Disney eye.
It's very similar to the Disney
you're
font.
right.
Yeah. And the tagline says, "Intimate secrets revealed. Debbie gets hot and bothered. Debbie describes the pain and humiliation of her tearful defeats and her..." Kaya, please. Thank you. "And her brutal
Sorry.
victories against her arch rivals." Okay.
Would you like to read some of the excerpts here?
Sure. So this is from Debbie's Diary, written by Grum's, world-renowned author. Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Billy Mitchell was there too, allegedly. That may or may not be true. Allegedly.
They're collaborating.
He's the other lesbian.
He's sitting in the back getting Donkey Kong high scores, allegedly. Okay. "She drilled her eyes into mine as she straddled me, pushing my legs back almost to my shoulders now. I made a grab for her hair, but she pulled back just in time and smirked at me. Still holding my
Did you
ankles."
just come?
Yeah,
you came immediately.
Sorry, I came a little bit. I'm cleaning up subtly while I read this. "Still holding my ankles as I thrashed on my back. I saw her eyes follow the V of my legs down to my bikini bottoms." Wow, it's a SpongeBob fanfic. "And then she looked up and winked at me. There was a little wet spot on my bikini bottoms. I was wet and getting more excited by the second." That's about the caliber of writing that we're dealing with here.
He's really good at it. He's really good at picturing himself as a woman. He's really able to put himself in the role.
He was
of a
watching
woman.
SpongeBob at the time because he used the phrase bikini bottoms twice,
Yeah, twice.
instead of anything else. That's the sign. Take it from someone who's an professional writer and incredible creative mind. If you want to know the mark of a bad writer, if you want to know the mark of a bad writer, it's when they reuse words over and over and over. The fact that he used bikini bottoms twice that quickly in the same paragraph means he couldn't think of anything else to call it, which means he sucks ass at this. It's not very good. Could be better.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but
so wet,
it's-
she
it's-
exclaimed. I was
Yeah.
so
It's
just for him.
inserted first
I don't think
two
he
and
was-
then four fingers.
he probably wasn't trying to make anyone else come. And I think he's.
I'm
pretty-
fine with-
this is
I
all
don't-
for him.
I don't see the problem with any of this. Like, dude jacks off to lesbians wrestling. What's the big deal? It's fine.
Yeah, no,
That's
by
not the
itself,
big
it's
deal.
not a
I
big
think
deal.
so. The other big deal, I'm gonna need Jackson to correct me, but he also has a game that he's been crowdfunding for like the better part of 10 years now. No one's ever seen anything about this fucking game. It's still not out, but he crowdfunds it, and then there was accusations of like tax fraud or something. Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's been embezzling the funds from the crowdfunding for that to pay for
Allegedly.
these porn sites, basically. Allegedly to pay for these porn sites that he allegedly controls. So he's using.
Sorry, I don't want to get
he's
sued by
allegedly
more
using-
lol cows.
yeah.
Apparently, they win now.
The allegation is that he's been using the money from the crowdfunding to pay for things like art commissions and things like that for these sites, which is probably where it starts to get a bit more shady.
Yeah, and now he's alleging that he got doxxed, and the person who found all this shit says, well, it's publicly available information, and it's like data breaches, which is like 99.9% of all doxing is like just people looking up publicly available shit and old data dumps of people's like 10-year-old passwords and shit. He's upset, naturally. People are having a good time just reading
There
the
was
stories.
one detail of this story that I did find excessively kind of weird. The email address assigned to the website, so the webmaster's email or whatever, I think, was something like pretty_little_girl_16, which was like, that's probably not a good look for Grums. Like, yeah.
But well, no, wait. Maybe I lost some details in the story. Isn't he a pretty 16-year-old girl?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Are we
okay.
talking about Grums or Debbie? It's the same
Try
thing. What am I talking
6T and old man.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, he's like-
Does he do like a Sailor Moon transformation where he's a 60-year-old man and then he flies through the star aether and then comes out as a pretty 16-year-old girl?
By
just
night,
like an
I complain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like by day I complain about ugly video game characters online, but by night I'm a 16-year-old girl who wrestles lesbians.
That unironically will probably be made into an anime in the next 3 years. That exact plot.
Yeah.
I mean, he already has the anime plot here. Donna was in pain and shock from the tit torture as a gleeful Carmen went to work. Both girls were now locked in a bruising breast battle, yelping and fighting back tears. They almost ritualistically abandoned all attacks except for their tit fighting. This is anime.
I like, it's a giant pet peeve when men write about girls, like just fan fiction about girls in general. So
I'm a big fan of sentences that, when dropped casually, just make no sense. Like if someone said, "Hey, what was wrong with Donna yesterday?" and your friend said, "Well, Donna was in pain and shock from the tit torture." It's like,
wait,
all right.
Yeah.
this line here is great. Donna's own kneading and twisting left white pressure marks on Carmen's coppery tit flesh.
Oh, this guy sucks. This guy is such a bad writer.
Tit flesh.
Tit flesh is
all the man wrote
Coppery
this too.
tit flesh.
Yeah. Ugh.
Uh,
Tit flesh. It sounds like something from a horror movie.
tit flesh. You mean like, yeah.
My tit flesh.
Breasts were still firm and erect, and they dug into Donna's unrelentingly.
Oh, neat.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are the stories.
Yeah, anyway,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry to take away two heroes of yours today.
Yeah, what a shame.
yeah.
These two men that I had only thought about today for the first time ever, basically.
Oh, one interesting element, though, is that people are now speculating that Grums could potentially be the Blizzard breast milk bandit. Remember that old story about how
yeah.
someone was
But
fired
wasn't that after his
from-
time?
Well, he could have gone back. He probably had the codes to the building still.
He's using his old key card.
Mhm. Well, he was
His
really
connections
thirsty.
to sneak.
What if he was just really thirsty? You know,
What
sometimes
if he
it
was
happens.
dressed up? What if he was dressed up as his persona or whatever it is? What was her name?
Debbie
Immediately
Chan.
forgot it. Debbie. Yeah, Debbie Chan.
Debbie.
They wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
They would have just thought that there's a woman just taking her breast milk home. Really?
Oh, she's just taking her breast milk home. She came to the office, just take her breast milk home.
Don't want to waste a single drop.
No. I think if you're a mother, and this, we have a lot of expecting and current mothers listening to our show, as we all know.
It's a large
I
percentage
think
of our audience.
if you nurse and get bottles of breast milk and your baby doesn't eat it or drink it, you should just drink it yourself to not waste it. You know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to pour it out. At least put it in some coffee.
Give it to a
to
coworker.
make you big and strong.
Give it to Grums.
Okay, question then for you guys. Let's say you're both.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They
No, it's
changed
fine.
his Google About thing. It says developer comes. Genres, pornographic, indie game, role-playing game. This is so juvenile that it made me giggle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So Kaya is a man with a wife, and he probably is going to have kids at some point because he's a traditional regular man. And Jackson is probably going to have a woman who grabs him by the hair and drags him back to the cave and forces that type of relationship. Let's say you guys
Snoo,
you get
snoo.
your wife pregnant, she gives birth, and she's breastfeeding. And she's got bottles of formula, right? You know, you pump out the extra milk, baby doesn't drink it all, put it in the fridge. What would you guys do if I came over
Can't
to
wait.
visit and I was like, my fellow podcast host, it's so nice to see you. It's been so long in person, give you a big hug. And I open the fridge and I just point at it and say, are you guys going to drink this? Can I have one? What would you do? How would you feel
Like
about
you-
that? Honestly, how would you feel if I did that?
Like if you knew that it was breast
Oh, I
milk.
100% no. I've even said, ooh, breast
I'm-
milk, my favorite.
Oh yeah, I'd ask you to get the fuck out. What do you mean?
You
Well,
wouldn't let
all
me
right.
have a sip?
First, because it's you, I would assume that it's a joke, and then I
You've
would be-
assumed
and if
wrong,
you-
my friend.
Yeah, if you were licking your lips and
I'm rubbing my hands greedily together,
yeah,
licking my
going
lips.
go for a second, I'd be like, "Fuck no, that's mine."
I'm
That's my
twiddling
stash.
my
Get outta here.
fingers and going, ooh, breast milk.
Get your
Get
own.
your own. Yeah, I worked for this.
Well, would you?
I
Okay,
can
would
give
you?
you
So
some cum
let's
if you want.
go back a step. Would you drink it? Like if it was in the fridge and you
Yeah.
just woke up in the middle of the night and were like, nah, you know, I need some breast milk.
If it's good enough for my son, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
I-
poison.
well,
So you
Yeah, it's
you
breast
would be okay with you drinking? Okay, so it's made for your child, and you would be okay with you drinking it, but I can't have some.
Well, it came from
Yeah.
my woman's teats.
What the
yeah,
fuck?
that's for me.
You're gonna
That's for family
you're not gonna
only. I'm afraid.
share? Oh,
No.
No.
Ask your mom. I'll share my toys.
Oh. Why?
Wait, so all right. How can you not see? How can you not see how that's weird? So if you had a girlfriend,
Yeah.
or if you had a
A
significant other
lactating
pregnant-
partner, let's say.
yeah,
Sure.
lactating partner,
Sure.
And
Debbie.
you'd willingly offer that up to any house guests. Your treasure.
I think that the onus.
I mean, you're a generous host. I don't think you're that generous.
I think the onus of awkwardness lands on the person asking for it, because I think the role would be reversed, where I'd go, "You guys want to drink some of our breast milk?" And they'd go, "Ew, no way." I think if I met someone and they had the gumption, the wherewithal to ask to drink some of that breast milk, I would probably shrug and go, "All right, yeah, sure, fine. I can't believe you want to. Go ahead. I want to see it happen." I think. I don't know how I'd respond in the actual moment.
How do you feel about this, Kyle?
No.
Yeah, same. I feel deeply uncomfortable.
Let's extrapolate this question to a more direct one. Let's say that you guys lactate. You've lactated. You chose in this
I'm fine with
pregnancy.
you drinking my milk.
You chose this pregnancy that you would be the one breastfeeding. There was a scientific surgical procedure. You lactate, you breastfeed the baby, and you put your breast milk in the fridge. And I went, "Jackson, my friend, can I have some of your breast milk? Would you let me have it?"
Yeah, I would absolutely be fine with that element.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
What?
you feel
It's
uncomfortable
just two
because I'm
dudes.
taking it from your partner is the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
That's my
I
milk.
would still say no.
Ah,
my
now we
bodily
have a
fluid.
difference in opinion. Okay, now it's getting
he's a
spicy.
bad host.
Well,
You're
okay,
a bad
what
host.
if you came
then.
to my place? I don't care. Well, okay, if you saw like a used condom in the trash, would you go, "Kaya, can I drink that?" That would be like weird.
That's
Okay,
that's
all right. Let's make it a little more sanitary then. Let's make it a little more sanitary. I look at Jackson and his big, beautiful brown eyes, and I say, "Jackson, I hear you got that lactation surgery. Can I try it?" And I'm talking straight from the source, drinking right
I already
from the
said
tap.
you can have it. Yeah, I already said you can have it.
But before it was from a bottle in the fridge. Now I'm talking about like I put my mouth on your nipples and have a good drink, like a big suck.
Okay, well, I'd probably be fine with that.
I don't like big suck. A big suck from his tit flesh.
Yeah, his
Well,
tit flesh.
he needs to get it. He needs to get every last drop.
I'm so
Kyle.
thirsty. I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, it's good
I
for
walked
his
the
bones.
Australian desert to get here. It's really hot out there.
It's good for his bones. He's a grown
Okay,
boy.
if we were in the desert, maybe like if it's like what was that football team that crash landed in the mountains and they had to eat each other or something?
that was the. I think
Oh, yeah, they would have survived a lot.
Team
They would have
or something.
survived
Yeah.
a lot longer if there were a few lactating guys out there.
That's
with them.
true. They should have. Well, that's from Mice and Men, I think, where it's a famine and a drought, and they're like, "Everyone breastfeed from this lady, or you'll die." It's like, oh
Oh,
god.
God, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck to be that woman.
Well, he sucked to live on that woman. Yeah.
Nice, but to go back to your
Yeah,
point,
if it's life or death.
like I would
sure.
be fine with Andrew sucking on my teats, but
Okay.
I think my fiance would have an
Well,
issue
I would
with
have
that
a
then.
sit down with your fiance. We'd get coffee at the local coffee bar, and I would say, "Listen, I just need you to just please. It's important. It is important that this happens. I've been friends with Jackson for a long time. I see those huge milkers he got. They just
the only chance.
have
the
to.
only shot
It's
we
the
get.
only thing. It's the only way." And she's on board with it. She's okay with it. She signed a court
He's
order
okay
document.
with it. He's okay with it.
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
Totally
What is the-
fine.
what-
Well, then, yeah. I'd be
Why is
fine
it the
with
only way again? Is it like a
Don't
cure to
worry about
something?
it. No, it's fine.
It's
Don't worry
really
about it.
young.
No, I do have to worry because if it's just starvation, I'd be like, we have orange juice in the fridge. I can make.
All
you
right,
some
what about this
bacon.
guy?
All right,
yeah, I
I'm
can get
so
you on my side. I can get you on
low.
my side.
I'm so dangerously
Huh?
low in vitamin D.
No,
I'm
I
vitamin
can
D
get
deficient.
Kai
My
on my
bones
side.
are breaking apart in front of you. I can't even walk. That's how bad it is. Only
I can
vitamin
get
D.
Kaya on our side. It's guaranteed, Kaya. Wait, Kaya, are you a milk fan in general anyway? Do you like milk?
Yeah, I like milk. Although I like heavy cream more in my coffee. I do like.
Okay,
milk,
well,
though, yeah.
regardless, let's say I had
Mhm.
giant. I was, pregnant. I had giant tits or whatever.
So
and
we're pretending for this, Jack. You said let's pretend you have giant tits. I don't know why we have to pretend, but okay.
So the government or whatever, the breast milk agency makes a declaration that my breast milk is now the best breast milk in the world, the best breast milk that's ever existed. You're going to have an angelic experience tasting my breast milk. It's going to be heavenly. Like it's the gold standard. It puts all other breast milk to shame. All right? But you have to get it directly from the source. You have to suck on my titties.
I think I'm good.
No, you
I-
first
first of
What? It's
all,
the best
I
in the
don't like-
world.
Okay, first of all, I like my milk ice cold out of the fridge. If I suck it out of your tits,
Well,
it's
no,
gonna
it
be
comes
like
out-
body
well,
temperature.
Jackson,
No,
Jackson,
no,
we put
it comes out
Jackson in the
absolutely
fridge.
perfect
We
for
put
your
Jackson in the
preferences.
fridge for 30 minutes, and then
That's
you do it.
Fine. No, it's the best. It's the best milk in the world. It's like great for you. You wake up feeling refreshed every single day for the rest of your life from my nectar.
For the
And it
rest of
comes
my
out cold.
life.
You can even
It
mix
comes
it
out
in your
close.
coffee. You don't have to drink it straight. You can even put it in coffee.
See,
Well, no, he's
that
gonna have
would
to
be
spit it out
more
of his.
acceptable.
No. He's gonna suck it directly from my teat. Andrew.
Oh,
So
I see. I see.
I guess he could take it into his mouth and then spit it into his coffee and then drink it that way if he wants. But he's got to put mouth to nipple.
Okay.
Is that how it activates?
Yeah, that activates the genes. that
So I
cause the
drink
milk.
it once and I get all these benefits, or do I have to drink it every day?
Sure. Hey, I only need once.
And then I never get a hangover? What is the promise here? Eternal life?
It's just the best milk ever.
You
I don't
get an
know.
inch on your
You can-
penis. You get one single inch on your
extrapolate.
penis.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think
then
if
okay.
I was told. I think
That's
if
not a
I was
bad
told.
deal.
All right.
I think if I was
let's make
told that this is
harder.
the best thing ever of anything, I would probably do it just to try.
I would
the
have,
best thing
Jackson, you would have had me at I'm lactating and I would have already put my mouth on there to try it out.
ever.
So here, we'll make this harder. Let's make this a little harder. It's the one always tells the truth and one always lies riddle. Jackson,
Oh, yeah.
it's same scenario except only one of your nipples lactates and the other doesn't at all. And you can ask questions and figure it out, but once you commit, and you might end up just sucking Jackson's nipples for nothing more than Jackson's perverse pleasure. Would you still do it, Kaya, if there was a 50-50 chance that one of those nipples was just
One of them is
defunct?
life-changing milk, though.
And the other one is just, oh my God, you're sucking Jackson's nipple for nothing. How could you?
So I don't get a second, try?
Nope, just once.
One shot
and
and
done.
that's it?
One and done.
Ooh.
Do you take the
Can I ask
gamble?
him,
Do you take the
questions?
risk?
You can
Can
ask
I,
him a
examine
single,
it for milk smudges and stuff?
You can ask him a single yes or no question, but you don't know if he's telling the truth. You have to discern if Jackson is
I feel
lying
like
or
I
telling the
wouldn't
truth.
know. I don't think I would know.
You wouldn't know which one of your
Hmm.
nipples is shooting out milk every day?
No, I don't think so. Oh, wait, does it change every day? I
Why
thought
would it
might
change?
Random.
Yeah.
Randomly generated lactation.
I don't know how
That would be
lactation
annoying.
works.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
it switches back and forth.
Ooh, you know what?
Yeah,
you
I
know what,
mean,
Jackson? I just realized something. I realized something important. Do you have hairy nipples?
Yeah, I was gonna say they're a bit hairy.
I would
It does
need you
change
to at
things,
least
doesn't
kind
it?
of like shave that a little bit.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I refuse to change
Oh,
myself.
I don't like that
You-
part. Oh.
You're gonna have to.
Why?
It's the best milk
Oh,
ever.
I thought you were a hairless
It's the
twink.
best milk ever.
Fuck, my fantasies
Well,
ruined.
I don't give a shit about the milk quality. I was promised an extra inch on your cock. That's what I'm here
On
for.
my cock?
On my
You
cock.
suck
Whoever's
my
doing the
nipple?
sucking.
You suck my
Whoever's doing
nipple
the
on my
sucking
cock
gets an
gets
extra
larger?
inch. 50-50 is still pretty good odds in my book
Yeah.
for an extra
Yeah,
inch.
an inch is a big amount of extra cock.
Yeah.
It is a lot of extra cock. It's a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I might have to suck my own titties.
Can you reach?
You'll have to get fat.
Yeah, you'll have to get really
Yeah,
fat.
I can probably reach.
Okay, wait, that's a good question. Jackson, if you had this magical breast milk that enhanced your life and your cock in every way, would you get super fat so you could suck it?
If it gave me bigger cock, yeah. Because I could just lose the weight again, right?
It would take a
Yeah.
long time and a lot of weight to gain.
Really?
No. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I can almost do it now.
Could he use like a silly
I'm
straw?
not even fat.
Oh, it's straw. Oh, Kaya's
A straw,
metagaming. I
yes.
love it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I don't know
Okay.
if the lip to nipple contact matters.
Mm.
It matters for me.
Jackson refuses to let it happen unless it's
Yeah,
directly on.
you're not taking my milk unless it's direct, intimate action.
Interesting.
Do
Interesting.
you guys like your nipples licked at all?
You
No.
know, no, not really.
Either. it's not
You reminded me
something
of a
I
funny
like either.
story. I went to a strip club once. It's like a haha, let's go to the strip club because and women do the thing when they're working. They're like, "Ooh, do you want a lap dance, big boy? Oh, look how hot I am. Why don't you follow me?" Blah blah blah. And there was one stripper who came up to me and immediately put my hands under my shirt and started tweaking my nipples.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I remember how
Why?
intensely uncomfortable it made me, and I hated it. I hated every second of it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
that's
worst.
pretty gross. Yeah.
It was
I
really
fucking
not
hate
good.
that.
And it was like I think even in a sexy scenario I would have hated it. Like this is not for me. I'm not into that kind of stuff.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't really get any feeling from it, so it's not like there's any point to it.
I do feel it. It's just not a erotic feeling at all. It's like the same if you just put your pinky in my nostril. Like, yeah, I feel it, but this isn't hot at all. Like, stop. And I have the same hang up about my like ass where if I get touched around my ass at all, it's like I don't know if I was molested as a kid or what, but I get so uncomfortable. Like, stop that.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, but for nipples, for nipples, for me, it's like I've met plenty of women who are a whole spectrum on nipples. Like some of them are like, oh, I like how it hurts. Some of them are like, it just genuinely does feel good. Some of them say, I feel nothing from it. Some of it's weird.
Debbie Chan loves hitting them.
Debbie Chan loves pressing them aggressively in her wrestling contest.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to describe, but it's like, they do feel they are sensitive, but it's not pleasant sensitive. It's like a uncomfortable kind of almost pain. You know, it's weird to describe, but it's not a good arousing.
Are they
feeling.
giving you titty twisters? What are they doing?
Well, you ever tweak
like
someone's
purple
nipples?
nipple?
Well, yeah, that's right. They just yank them off at Mach 6 as hard as they can. Yeah.
You just flick them.
They put clothespins on them and yank them off with a piece of string. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. Why do I keep letting them do this?
Nah, it's just like a nothing feeling for me. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't like feel. It just feels uncomfortable more than anything.
Yeah, just like it's a nothing. Like you might as well play with my knees. Like I'm not into this. Like, can you stick to the balls, please? You know.
And that's kind of what I'm trying hard to articulate. For me, it's not nothing. Like there is something there, but it's just not. It's not like pleasant. It's not like a very pleasurable feeling. You know.
Okay, well then it has to be me that gets my nipples sucked then by you guys because like I've got no feeling. I think I'm less uncomfortable about it than Kaya. Whereas Andrew, it sounds like you'd be in pain if we tried to suck on your nipples.
I think I'd be uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt that much. It's like extremely low on the spectrum of feeling. It's just it is there. You know, let me put it this way: if I was sleeping and someone started fucking with my nipples, I'd probably wake up and be like, that kind of sensation. You know, it's not so bad that I'd be screaming in pain, but it's something.
How angry would you be if you woke up and I was playing with your nipples?
I think I'd giggle, honestly. I feel like, oh, Jackson,
no, you would not.
You're like, what are you doing here, Jackson?
Jackson.
And I've got a milk mustache around my mouth as well.
if you had a milk mustache, I think I'd have an epiphany coming to Jesus moment. I'd realize I was the chosen one and I'm lactating.
Yeah.
We have to make money off of this.
That reminds me, I need to come visit you again soon, Andrew.
Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking do, little man.
Aww.
We need to lactate one of us, full on lactation, put it in bottles, and market it as man milk. I think we would actually make tens of thousands of dollars doing that, from perverts to people who think it's a protein supplement and everything in between. I think it's an amazing
Can men
idea.
ever create milk?
That's already a thing.
Is it? Male breast milk?
Not women.
Well, not male breast milk, but breast milk in general, yeah.
Men make milk.
But I'm saying we put it in a bottle and call it man milk, and we sell it in stores alongside the protein shakes. And I bet you a bunch of health nuts would be like, the male breast is far better at protein expression and has more testosterone in the milk.
Yeah,
like,
testosterone.
Some bullshit. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I bet you would make a
that
ton
way.
of money doing that.
But you need to find men
so
that are able
gross.
to be milked. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Can you make milk?
Wouldn't it be the opposite of testosterone in it? So, like, if a man is so bitch-titted that he has moobs and he's lactating, that would be just full of, like, estrogen.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could take lactated milk, breast milk, and then inject it into a man and have him lactate it out, and then the health nuts would be like, well, because it went through the man's memories, it's infused with more strong vitamins or some shit. This is an idea.
Also, we could run a competition where if you open up a milk carton and you find one of my nipple hairs in there, you get to visit the milking factory.
Oh, we'll make a musical movie out of it.
Yeah, it'd be magical. I like the idea, though.
I love that idea. Why didn't they make a Willy Wonka but with breast milk? That's the real question.
Yeah, like
all the different kinds of breast milk.
Giant boobs hanging off the wall. You know, when they lick the gobstoppers attached to the walls, there'd be a hall of titties and they're sucking different tits to drink the different milk. Chocolate. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You
Chocolate breast milk.
don't knock it till you try it. Well, that was my
That's
topic,
true.
by the way.
Yeah. What was your? How did you start that? What was your topic?
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Breast milk. Just breast milk in general.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
Debbie Chan?
All right. Well, what else you got? What else you got?
The Switch 2 is getting announced tomorrow, right? Sorry to Luigi.
It's already been
mentioning
announced.
these, but- Yeah, well, I mean, they have like. a
It's getting
Nintendo Direct,
detailed.
I guess.
It's getting shown
Yeah.
off tomorrow.
They're announcing they're canceling it. Oh, did you see the fucking what do they call them, Nintendo Direct last week, where they were like their big announcement at the end was some fucking Nintendo app for your mobile phone, which was just like a calendar
Yeah.
app, basically.
I mean,
What
they're
a fucking
addicted to it now.
dumb-
First, there was they released a Mario game, which is okay, and then they released a music app, and now they're releasing yet another app. It's like the 50-year-old, the 500-year-old, boomers at Nintendo.
But at least the
figured
other
out
things
what
were, like-
apps are.
At least the other things had like purpose. This was literally just it's an app where you open it and it's just Nintendo news, basically, like announcements
Yeah.
and stuff, which I could get
Mhm,
anywhere else
mhm.
online. I'm not fucking downloading an app for that. Are you kidding me? A stupid
Yeah,
idea.
like I
And
said,
the,
it's
the
like the-
Nintendo Music
and
app
to
was...
and to be to think that it's such a good idea where you make it the like ultimate announcement at the end of the the one here's one more thing announcement that all these live streams do, where they save the big announcement for the
Mhm.
end. And I was like, oh fuck, this is exciting. This is gonna be something cool. What are they gonna show? More Switch 2 stuff, like a Switch 2 teaser, and then it's just some fucking app for a fucking calendar, basically. Stupid.
Yeah, Nintendo's whole marketing philosophy is they try stuff and they're hilariously behind the times because
it was
of that.
something
you know?
from like 20 years ago.
Like they made an alarm clock a few months ago as a big announcement, and it's like I bought one and tried it out because it was like, oh, it's a cute little Nintendo alarm clock, and it's like, yeah, it's a cute little toy, like it has a design, it's a physical object, it's not just an app, but compared to what you can do with a phone, and you can do everything it can do for the most part, it's like,
That's what I
this
was
being
saying.
Made
It's
is
like
so
the-
weird.
Yeah, like the geezers at Nintendo discovered smartphones finally, and they're like, we can make an app for this. We can make an app where you hold the phone sideways and it looks like you're drinking beer, and we can make it like,
I
but
just
you're like
remembered
15
that
years
shit.
late. Yeah,
Oh my
like,
god, do you remember old classic original iPhones where the Zippo lighter app, you would just flip it open and turn it on, and that was it? That was the
Yes. Oh my
whole
God.
app. Oh my
The
god.
fart app. Fart
You just
sounds.
hit me with a nostalgia so deep I forgot it existed.
those
Terrible,
apps.
worthless apps like that were everywhere when the phones first came out.
Wasn't there an
Holy
app?
fuck.
Wasn't there an app where you could just pay like $1,000 or whatever, and it would just turn your screen gold? Basically,
Yeah.
like it was an exclusive.
Yeah. Oh my god. There was one called it was called like I'm Rich. And to
Yeah.
open it, you had to pay $100,000, and 7 people bought it before they removed it from the store. And it's like, whoever made that app is the smartest goddamn person alive.
Yeah.
Trick rich
Well,
idiots out
Nintendo's
of their
catching
money.
on.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they announced
God.
that, and game
They do cool stuff
sharing.
though. They're like they were ahead of technology in a lot of ways, like the whole Nintendo Labo thing. Where they,
yeah.
yeah. They do
Labo,
some
I
cool
forgot
loved
about those.
Labo. I thought Labo was super cool. The problem was it was just a big failure commercially and didn't take off. But I thought conceptually, I mean, combine your video games with practical, designable custom
Yeah.
toys. That's a great
I thought it was
fucking
cool.
idea, you know?
Like if I was a kid, I would have loved that.
And the one that kind of was a thing for a while, I don't know if they still do it, the Mario Kart actual physical go-kart that you would drive around. It was an RC
Oh,
car,
yeah.
and you could make
Yeah.
augmented
Set up
reality
goals.
tracks.
Checkpoints.
Yeah, and set up goals like that. That is also a great idea. It was a thing for a bit, and then it kind of died. But I appreciate Nintendo's innovation, but the problem is that sometimes they try to quote unquote innovate, and instead it's just, dude, you're 5-6 years behind the times. You know, like we already did
Yeah.
this, but better. Why would I ever download another one that they did similar to this? That's really stupid. Is they tried to make the Switch a music player. Do you remember that? They tried to put like a music
Yeah.
player on the Switch with, I think, Smash Brothers and other shit. Who the fuck is going to lug a Nintendo Switch around to listen to music to? Especially when I think when that came out, the Switch didn't even have wireless headphone capability yet. It didn't have Bluetooth like that. So who the fuck is ever going to
Aw.
use that? You know? Fucking
Yeah.
weird. Totally weird.
I wouldn't have a problem with them making this stupid fucking app, but just to make it the big announcement is just dumb. Sorry, it's fucking stupid. They like wheeled Shigeru Miyamoto out to announce it and everything. I'm like, why? What? Didn't need him to really like. He wasn't involved in this. Like, he wasn't making this app. This is clearly like creatively devoid of any kind of intent other than just putting news out there. I don't know. Stupid app.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid decision to make that your big announcement. Did you say they're doing another thing tomorrow?
Well,
Yeah.
tomorrow's the big Nintendo Switch 2 direct.
Yeah, like
interesting.
a detailed reveal that's supposed to be like 60 minutes or something. I'm sure they're gonna fill it with like 55 minutes of JRPG slop. And then
Oh
at the
my
end,
God,
they're gonna
I'm so
go.
sick of it.
And one more thing, the Switch 2 is coming out this June. Bye.
I don't know. The Switch original direct had like 9 different game announcements, and they were all big titles. So
Yeah.
hopes are high for this if it's like the original
That would
Switch
be cool.
announcement. Yeah, because the original Switch announcement was great. It had a ton of great announcements in it.
Probably the next Pokemon, right?
Well, God, why would you say that out loud?
Well, probably
Not to all
gonna be there.
bing bing wahoo too hard, but I would like a new Odyssey type Mario. That
Yeah,
would be fun.
Odyssey 2, or whatever the sequel would be to that is probably my most anticipated Nintendo thing. Like Mario Kart, new Mario Kart, everyone already knows, and that's probably going to be good by default. There's some other cool stuff they could probably announce, maybe a new Zelda, maybe Splatoon 4, like cool fun stuff. But Odyssey 2, that's the one I'm like death gripping my hands, crossing my fingers, hoping they announce because I would love that.
What if they introduce a new like main Nintendo IP, a
Ooh,
farming
that
sim
could
or
be-
something,
That could be cool as
That would
well.
be
It could be like
cool.
ARMS. Everyone remembers ARMS. Everyone loves
or
ARMS.
Splatoon? Splatoon was them, right? Like,
No, I'm being a little bit of a shitster because, like, yeah, they introduced big IPs they catch on. Like Splatoon was definitely a big success for a brand new IP, but like, you know, their launch titles when they do that typically aren't well remembered. Like ARMS is a good example. ARMS was supposed to be the big look, we're on the Switch now thing,
Yeah.
and no one cared about ARMS. No one gave a shit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
all right.
oh well.
Well, okay.
I
So
guess
what
we're
about
excited.
before the stream? What do you guys want the most? Just one thing from it. Like, what would you be happy with?
Mario
I
Odyssey
think we
2.
both
I
just
mean,
said. Yeah.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I guess you did, didn't you?
If I
Mhm.
have to pick something else, I honestly just kind of want to see specs and see the performance upgrade. I would love to know I can play some backwards compatible games at like 60 frames per second now.
Yeah.
To give you
Oh,
an
actually,
example,
that was a big that was a big thing that they announced on the last stream, was that you could now basically swap digital cards between devices. So like
Mm-hmm.
you can send your game over to a different Switch basically,
Oh.
and treat it as like a physical cartridge, even if
Oh,
it was only digital.
And lend
Which I
it to
think
friends.
that's actually
finally.
amazing. I didn't know about that one. That's really good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like
Honestly,
that.
great.
I think that's probably in preparation for the Switch 2, so that you can then transfer your digital
Yeah, of
games
course.
from the Switch
And-
to the Switch 2.
And you could also probably just download your Nintendo account and re-download all that stuff on the Switch too. I mean, my biggest thing, if we're not just talking about games, that what I would want is a noticeable performance upgrade. Like I'll give you a specific example. When you play Balatro or however the fuck you say it, when you play it on Steam or the Steam Deck or PlayStation 5 or whatever, it runs at a super smooth, high refresh rate. It looks really good. It basically, it's like impossible to get performance issues. But if you play it on the Switch, it runs at 30 frames per second, and as soon as you start getting to the late game, all the jokers lag the fuck out of the game. And thankfully for a game like that, it doesn't matter because it's just a puzzle game. But for other games I've played, there's plenty of examples I could dig up. You know, things just lag. Performance gets hit. Things happen where it gets a performance issue, you know?
It was old specs-wise when it released. So it's-
Exactly.
whereas-
And the Switch 2, my biggest thing I want besides specific games is get it to run everything well, at least competently. Anything you can think of runs, you know, well, and I don't have to worry about performance hits. That would be the one thing I want
If
more
it's
than
going
anything.
to hit like a $600 price point, well, how much was the Switch one?
I don't think it would be $600.
Not
Switch
that
one was only
much.
like
Yeah, I don't
Switch one was like
remember.
$350.
Well,
at
wait,
launch.
whoa. Sorry, I mean 600 Australian. Yeah, I don't know how much that is.
That's like $10.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
for
regardless, I
$600
still
US
want, like-
dollars that you could get like a deck at that point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna
really.
say I would want pretty modern spec. Well, I want some modern spec anyway on the Switch too. I feel like they can do it.
So the Steam Deck, as of right now, if you order a brand new OLED Steam Deck, it is okay. So the budget regular model Steam Deck is $400. The OLEDs are either $550 or $650, depending on the version. So I think if the Switch 2 is supposed to be comparable to Steam Deck, and if it's around $500, that would probably be fine for people. But if it's $600 or more for Nintendo, that might be a little much. Might be
They're
a
not
little
gonna
much.
make it $600. This is a family
No, they
console that
wouldn't.
people get for their children for Christmas. This isn't
Yeah.
gonna be.
I predict it's going
To
be.
be fair, if they did make it $600, it would still sell extremely well. It doesn't matter.
I
they
predict. Here's my big prediction. It's going to be like the Steam Deck, except a little more smaller, sleek form factor and a little weaker performance-wise, but same price. I imagine the Switch 2 would be $400, maybe $450 for like a very similar package.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds about right. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much. Official.men or patreon.com/theofficial to continue listening to this episode. We're going to keep talking for a little bit here in the After Dark. So join us over there. The support really helps out. You get ad-free content over on those membership platforms. Thank you very much for your support. Look forward to hearing our reaction to whatever the fucking Switch 2 brings with it in the reveal tomorrow. We'll talk about that next week. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.